Whether you're doubling your revenue targets for this year or you're halving your revenue targets for this year has almost nothing to do with the targets that you want to set for sales and marketing. Let's take an example. So if you generated $100 worth of revenue last year, in your first year, and this year ahead you want to generate $200 worth of revenue, you could imagine that we need sales to generate that $200 for us. But here's a question. How much revenue would you get to enjoy if sales and marketing departments were both sacked? 0? If it's truly 0, then 200 is the right number. If maybe $70 would have come from customer service doing a great job of those $100 worth of customers from last year, then that's customer service's target. That's not sales and marketing's target. In that example, the $70 comes from customer service. We need to get to 200, so sales and marketing's target now becomes $130 in that example. Now, if the average deal is worth, let's say, $10, then we need sales and marketing to generate for us 13 sales, each of average $10. Now, I know some are going to be bigger and some smaller, but that's your average. Not $200, 13 deals at $10 a piece. So we really need to turn our whole thinking on its head. Well, not literally. And that's why we need to know the value of the new business that you need sales and marketing to generate for you, and we need to know the average size of a deal. And we also need that same number for the next 4 years. Imagine you've got a pretty typical B2B sales cycle of 6 months. Well, we know that these days half of the buying at least is done before you even get invited to the party. So the buying cycle in that scenario is probably more like a year. Can we imagine that all of our buyers will start on the day that we're ready to begin our sales and marketing? Clearly not. And so we need that whole year's worth of targets, but we need a lot more because you're going to try and fail, recycle, try and fail again, recycle, try and fail again, recycle, until your buyers are ready to buy from you. So we're going to need more than a year's worth, and as a rule of thumb we use 3, and that's why we're standardised on a 3-year sales and marketing plan in the velocity model. So why do we need 4 years? One little twist. If we described 3 years worth of targets, but it actually takes a year for your buyer to buy, then the number of sales that you enjoy in year 3 will all have come from opportunities you created in year 2. And so your funnel's going to look kind of weird. It's going to look in year 3 as if you don't need to start any new conversations because they're all going to fall into year 4, and we don't care about year 4. So I'm going to have an empty funnel in the top of year 3. And that's clearly silly. You're not going to stop your business after 3 years. So we need a 4th year to make the 3rd year look realistic. And that's why we need 4 years worth of total sales value and average sale value so we can work out how many sales need to occur over the next 3 years. Let's not allow the complexity of that calculation to be an excuse for being imprecise. And that's why revenue has almost nothing to do with the targets that you're going to set for sales and marketing. And here's how we do all that in the funnel plan. Let me show you first where it sits in the funnel plan. Well, the funnel plan is your go-to-market plan for sales and marketing. So it's going to sit top left. That's kind of the first place we'll look in the funnel plan. It also sits down here in the bottom of the velocity model. Because at the end of the day, the velocity that you need to generate is dictated by these sales and marketing targets. And here's how we actually enter the data into the funnel plan tool. We need to know your total value of the new business targets you're going to set sales and marketing. And we need it for 4 years. But the first year, we're going to break into quarters. And the first quarter, we're going to break into months. So you've got 3 months, that makes up the first quarter. You've got 3 more quarters that together with those 3 months make up your first year. And then you've got 3 more years after that, a little less granular. Objectives, average sale value for each of those 3 years, 3 quarters, and 3 months. And together, that informs the velocity that you need to generate out of your sales and marketing plan.